Aloha.
Aloha. Mahalo.
I hope you say that at the end. Just wait for it. It's been wonderful to be here with you all this weekend. Like everyone, I want to thank Represent Us for your leadership in bringing us all together, in hosting this important summit, one of which I hope is the first of many to come in the future. The dialogue and the debate and the conversations that I've heard happening around me throughout this weekend in different rooms and different places gives me hope. It gives me inspiration. I'm leaving this weekend pumped up as we head back to Washington because there are very clear tasks, there are clear courses of action, and most importantly, there is a clear sense of vision coming from all of you, people who come from all different parts of the country, different backgrounds, different political persuasions, different ideologies, but coming together with one heart, with one vision and one goal. How can we work together to better serve the people of this country and to protect our planet? In Hawaii, we call this Aloha. We call this convening Aloha. And for those of you who've been to Hawaii before, you come down the stairs at the airport and you see Aloha on the sign. It says, "Welcome to Hawaii." Aloha is a way that we say hello and goodbye, but there is a much more powerful meaning to this word. A word that has the power to change the world. Because when I aloha you, what I'm saying is that I'm coming to you with an open heart. I'm coming to you with respect, with care, and with love, and a recognition that we are all connected, that we are all neighbors, we are all in this together, and that my actions impact yours and yours mine, and that if we have any hope of working towards a better life for each other, for future generations, for our planet, we can only do so together. The challenges that we face are great in this country, in our political system, and in the world, and it is only through this spirit of aloha, this recognition of our interconnectedness, and this desire to work together that we can truly find solutions. In my spiritual practice, Vaishnava Hinduism, we call this karma yoga, where you take action, you take the skills and talents and tools and training that each of us has, coming from different places and different backgrounds, and seeing how can I best dedicate those skills, my time, my energy, and my life, working towards the well-being of others, not for selfish gain, but to actually help serve others, to actually take action to protect our planet. If we don't do this, when we examine the ills within our society, when we examine the pain and suffering in the world, we can attribute it back to this lack of servant leadership, this lack of care in action for others, and the people suffer as a result. Our planet suffers as a result. During my first deployment to Iraq, it was 2004. We were at our camp for only a couple of days, and I was walking through the camp, orienting myself and seeing where everything was, and I noticed immediately there was a big sign next to the main gate that had a lot of the patrols going in and out every day. And in that sign, in big block letters, it said, "Is today the day?" I stopped for a moment and looked at that. And that sign and that moment of reflection stuck with me every day because it was a constant reminder that our time could come at any moment. The fragility of life. And the question that follows is, am I making the most of the time that I've been given? Now, when you're serving in a combat zone that has a very different sense of reality, but it is just as an important question for us here today as it was for us there. Our time could come at any moment. So what are we doing with our lives? What are we doing with the time that we've been given to serve others, to make that positive impact? It's so easy in this day and age not only to get caught up in the busyness of life, but with social media and all of the other things that are happening, to get caught up in the divisiveness, in the negativity, the hatred, the vitriol, and this idea that if you disagree with me, then therefore you are my enemy. You are my opponent, and I must defeat you. This pitting of us versus them, whether it be based on different political ideologies, different races, different religious beliefs, all of the things that make us unique as a people, as a country. And we can only look to the news to see how dangerous this path is that we're on. And that's the challenge before us. As Mike was talking about, every one of us individually, starting with ourselves in our daily lives, to stop the darkness and the hatred and the negativity, and make that conscious choice in our own lives, in our own relationships, in our actions, to choose love. Choose aloha. Choose to take action so that light can defeat that darkness. You know, so many of the things that we've been talking about here can sometimes seem a bit complex. Figuring strategies and training and how are we going to do this, how are we going to accomplish it, but so much of this just comes down to people. Relationships, how we treat each other. If you're able to build those relationships, then you're able to have a debate, have a conversation that is based on respect, that allows us to disagree without being disagreeable, and that allows us to find common ground. There are a lot of ways to do this. One piece of advice I was given before I was sworn in as a member of Congress the first year by a former member from Hawaii said, "Tulsi, when you go to Congress, it's important to make friends. Best place you can do that is by going to the gym." Mike and I became friends because we go to the gym at 6:30 in the morning when we are at our rawest, most human state. And there's a group of us, bipartisan group of members of Congress. We go early in the morning, and we've established friendships and relationships built on that time that we spend together, kicking each other's butts, pushing each other early in the morning. But it turns into something bigger than that. It was one of those mornings that I talked to Mike about coming here to unrig, saying, "Hey, man, let's do it." Another thing that I did when I first got to Congress as a new member of Congress in the minority coming from a small state, I thought, okay, what's one of the things that makes people most happy? Culturally, I think not exclusive to Hawaii, is food. So I called my mother. She makes this incredible macadamia nut toffee. And I asked her sweetly if she would make 434 boxes of toffee. My mom is a mom of 5 rambunctious kids, and so it didn't take her much to say, "Yeah, I think that's a great idea, sure." And I said, "I'm not done. Can you make another 434 boxes of toffee for the staff of every member of Congress?" And she said, "Well, that might take me a little bit longer, but yes, I'm in." And so as she was doing that in Hawaii, stirring these 2 pots simultaneously, pouring, cutting, and wrapping this toffee, I was learning more about each of my new colleagues, handwriting notes to each of them, introducing myself and letting them know that I looked forward to working with them. And it was incredible to see how quickly, after we delivered these little gifts of aloha to my hundreds of new friends and colleagues, on the House floor during votes, which is the only time when we're really all together in one place, I started to see senior Republicans, chairmen of important committees, making that long walk from the Republican side to the Democratic side, finding me and saying, "Thank you so much. It was delicious. I ate it all, so I need more for my spouse at home." And then most importantly, saying, "Tell me what's going on in Hawaii. Tell me how, as the chairman of transportation or armed services or this committee or that committee, tell me how I can be helpful in your service to the people in your district." So that began a relationship that has proven time and again, when those important issues come up, that I can get people to answer the phone when I call, that if they have questions on a bill that I'm pushing for on the House floor that seems doomed for failure because it is deemed a partisan bill when it's not, they say, Tulsi, tell me why this is important. I win some of them over, others make a different choice, but it has allowed me to be effective for my constituents, to be able to serve them better, all out of a basic, simple act of kindness, aloha, and respect. This hyper-partisanship that we are seeing now is getting in the way of doing the people's work, our mission of serving the people. There are so many issues where we can find common ground. It's a long list. Obviously, what we're gathered here for today is a critical one. Criminal justice reform that's breaking up families all across the country, ending the federal marijuana prohibition, affordable housing, strengthening infrastructure, protecting civil liberties, fighting for peace, ending our counterproductive regime change wars overseas, and taking those dollars and investing them right here in our communities here at home. These are all issues that impact our families, our neighbors, and our communities every single day. These are all issues that currently have bipartisan support. There is so much potential and opportunity if we can get past the divisiveness, find this common ground, and work together. The answer is love. The answer is aloha. Because it is love that opens our eyes to see that every hungry child is our child, that every person seeking the dignity of a job is our neighbor, that every senior citizen in need is our parent, and that when any one of us is attacked because of race, religion, sexual orientation, or anything else, is an attack on each one of us. The answer lies in love, because it is when we care for each other, choosing that inclusion and love over divisiveness and hatred, only then is our country at its greatest. The obstacles may seem overwhelming at times. The task is great before us. It is in those moments that I find inspiration from one of my favorite quotes from Mahatma Gandhi, that when a small group of determined spirits who are fired by an unquenchable faith in their mission, they can alter the course of history. So I urge you to draw strength and courage from love and aloha, and remember that in our movement that is fueled by love, inspired by aloha, we can never be stopped or defeated. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for your activism, your faith, and your dedication to this mission. Aloha. Mahalo.